Is it weird or disgusting to eat raw intestines? Let's talk about it. Hey health heroes, welcome back to Autoimmune, the channel all about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. And so, in the last video, I know you guys were all like, oh, maybe you're being a little judgmental, Adam. And yeah, maybe you're right. But I just wanted to be real and give my real opinion and thoughts, and I think that's okay. I think we all have some criticisms that we want to put out in the world, especially if we think it's going to hurt somebody. I don't think it's a problem to critique people, especially when it's warranted, right? So if I think a diet is dangerous or going to just straight out kill somebody or make their life a living hell like mine was in the before time, and they're going to suffer throughout their long time, I don't see a problem with that. I even had a nice subscriber be like, hey, maybe you should delete your video. I would hate for you to lose your nice guy persona. Don't let this baby face fool you. As soon as I lose this baby fat, you won't think I'm so nice. I guess I will take those tips into consideration, what people told me, and be a little less judgmental with this video on Derek Nance. Now, this is a guy that I actually watched when I first started out on my autoimmune protocol. I was watching him and he talked about his food sensitivities and how he had to eat pretty much just a raw primal diet, right? And we'll get into what that means here in a minute. Actually, we'll watch the video together and react. But I thought it was so interesting. Disgusting, but interesting. And I look at it so differently nowadays. Like, because I have a certain knowledge now, or I have more information and data than I had in the before time. So everything, I'm looking through everything with an autoimmune protocol lens, AIP lens, or a nutritional lens, right? Or just a little bit differently than I did from a health conscious point of view. So I'm going to try to be not so judgmental with this video, and we'll see how that goes.
About 90% of my diet is raw sheep meat. I'm just somebody living in obscurity, eating my intestine smoothies in my kitchen.
Oh yeah, we're going there.
My name's Derek Nance. I'm from Lexington in the state of Kentucky. For the last 9 years I've been sourcing and butchering and eating raw animals, and I've never felt healthier. This is a ram's testicle from a 3-year-old ram. It has a more salty taste. It's not like red meat, it's more of like a seafood almost.
I mean, who doesn't have raw testicles hanging from their, fridge? That's very normal. I see nothing wrong so far. No judgment-free zone.
Growing up, I just had the standard American diet, had allergies and headaches and asthma and other signs of, food intolerance issues where I noticed certain foods were really giving me trouble.
Well, if that isn't relatable, I don't know what is. Okay, I can't. This is difficult for me. There's nothing worse than smacking.
I'll chew a wad like rawhide, and I'll just chew it like gum throughout the day. I think it helps polish my teeth. Finally, I came across the Weston Price Foundation, and they do studies of indigenous diets. Eventually discovered the meat-based diet and just decided that, I'll give it a try. I was having so much trouble digesting everything else that meat seemed to work well for me, and I just felt like this was it. All right, so ready to prepare a stomach smoothie?
I was ready since you first clickbaited us in the first 10 seconds of the video. Let's go for a ride.
You can smell it too. So here's the small intestine, the whole parts, different parts of the intestines. They all go into my smoothie. And I can eat this and be fine with it without any fear that the bacteria are going to come out to get me, because I actually think that they're beneficial. So I just make it into a smoothie, and it just makes it like all creamed together, and it's just much more consistent, easier, like a quick on-the-go snack. And my girlfriend made me designate a blender because I used to use her blender, and it holds that residual stomach smell. Save that for dessert.
Yeah, because when I'm getting my intestine smoothie, I really like it really creamy. You know, just a quick on-the-go snack. That's really what I look for. Your girlfriend is a saint, I'm convinced. I made liver pate in my blender once, and it was never the same.
I believe that the nourishment that are in raw animal foods is far superior because there's certain nutrients that when undergoing the cooking process gets cooked out.
I mean, to an extent, yeah, he is right about that. It's not like we're going to become nutrient deficient in those vitamins. We can eat plenty of cooked meat and get the same amount. Is it better, though, overall? Yeah, for some people, digestion may be easy. You know, like, some people can't digest cooked meat as easily, so yeah, there might be something to that.
I could sit here and chew on this bone for a good 15-20 minutes, like a dog. But I'm going to crack it open and get some of the marrow out.
Yeah, the marrow is the best part by far, guys. That is so delicious. I would eat that. I would eat that. But I don't know. I'm working on that. I eat some raw meats, not gonna lie, and I will make videos about that in the future. I'm easing in though. Like I said, I think I talked about this like 6 months ago about how I would eat a little bit of raw beef. The problem is with quality. When you eat raw beef, you have to eat the best quality available. You can't just go buy raw beef from the store and eat that.
Instead of just going to the store and picking out a prepackaged chunk of meat with a label on it, I prefer to go directly to the source. I'll drive out to small family farms. I load up the animals in my truck and I take them back to the house here and I butcher them in the backyard. It's fun.
Yeah, okay. I mean, no judgment. Everyone has different hobbies, right? So I could certainly see how taking something apart and, yeah. I'm joking, but like literally I would do this if I had this available to me. My dad was actually a butcher in a meat market, right? He wasn't like, you know, out in the getting his own and butchering and eating it like that. But so to me this isn't as foreign as maybe it is to some people. But I could certainly see how somebody would be like, "Oh, look at this guy. He's a bit psycho. Maybe he's more normal than the rest of us, right?" Ever thought about that? Judgy? I love the music that goes along with this. You couldn't have made it look any better or just normal. I mean, and then they cut to a scene like, oh, here he's got a knife covered in blood.
Whenever I get a fresh animal in, I prefer eating, you know, the whole animal with all the organs and all the different tissues because it adds variety to a diet that you'd think would be bland. This is the kidney and the kidney fat, and it's really nutritious and it's a good part of the diet, but it might be an acquired taste for some.
I love the idea of eating the whole animal for all of its nutrients and not just eating like the muscle meat. I love the organ meats, but there is one organ meat that I just cannot stand, and that is the kidney. It is just straight up foul. It's like chewing on a rubbery piece of urine.
Hey, where am I going to sit? Over.
Right here, next to me, next to me.
Well, let me sit in. I have 4 kids, and I live with my partner. My girlfriend was primarily vegetarian.
I would have probably remained a vegetarian if Derek hadn't come into my life. I think that the way Derek harvests meat is much more ethical than buying it from a grocery store.
Whoa, he turned a vegetarian into an omnivore. That is something. Certainly even a vegetarian from a first-hand point of view can see that this is more sustainable and it is better method for our environment and everything else. Actually, I just seen a thing, I watch vegan channels as well, and I watched on Vegan Gains, he was talking crap on this guy, Isaac Butterfield or whatever. I like him too. Vegan Gains actually proved in his own video that being a vegetarian was worse for the environment than being just a straight pure beef eater, because more deaths are involved when you eat eggs than like any other animal source food. Now this only comes into play when you consider factory farming, and I don't think any of us meat eaters would say that factory farming is great by any means.
Depending on the size of the animal, a full-grown sheep around 175 pounds for, I don't know, about $200. I mean, 200 American dollars, and you can live off of that for about a month.
See, this gives me hope. $200 is totally affordable. Of course, most people wouldn't butcher their own animal, so you would actually have to pay more to have it butchered. But if you were going to learn the trade, that would be, I mean, that really would save most people money. I spent around $200 per month, so that really wouldn't make a big difference. I mean, that would be a lot more work. I would have to cutting up this meat would be almost like a full-time job, I feel like, but yeah, I could see that. I've had sheep once, mutton, and I really, really didn't care for it. It was like this, I don't even know how to explain it. It wasn't like, it's different than gamey. It's just like super farmy. Of course, I haven't had it in many years, and I didn't like venison in the before time, but now I like it, so hey, maybe I would really enjoy it now. I don't know.
I've had my kids be a part of the process since they were real little.
I'm pretty sure everyone would think it's strange.
Hey, let's see if we can find some eggs for me.
Oh, can we eat them raw?
If you want.
Can we, Papa? Can we eat them raw, please? Do you see, guys? Now, some of us might think it's disgusting, but when you grow up in that environment, maybe a natural environment, maybe, I'm not saying, but hey, to some people, right? Or maybe it is a better method. But if you grow up in that, it's not unnatural to you.
We're used to it. They're so pretty.
I had issues with the teachers reporting me because they found out that I was butchering animals in front of the kids. All that's been resolved after I've explained to the social workers it's what I do to harvest my foods. It's hard to be the odd child whose dad does a lot of crazy things, and I don't see why a child couldn't eat raw meat as much as they want, as long as it comes from a good, clean animal. We've been raised under the paradigm that germs are the root cause of all disease. We've decided to just sterilize everything to cook the life out of it.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that in some capacity. I mean, most of the people now today working on the gut microbiome, they'll be like, yeah, you can't like over sterilize everything. You need a certain amount of germs in your body, like good germs versus bad germs, all the bacterias. There's even some different products they put out that sprays the good bacteria. Like, we live in these sterile houses and just no germs, and then all of a sudden when germs get on us, it's like, oh, our body can't take it because it's not used to that. I think we can go too far with it in both directions, but like the intestine smoothie, I don't know.
So this compost heap's been going for about 5 years, and it's really rich. Like I'll bury whole bones down here, kind of like a dog, if I feel like I need something to chew on.
Okay, so I have chewed on bones, and actually in the before time, I used to eat the bones, like the soft parts, but I actually don't do that with factory farm meat because it's toxic as well, and that would always break me out. And not only that, just eating bones in general will cause me to flare, and I don't know why. It could be that they're just harder to digest, but on the flip side of that, I can eat grass-fed collagen, peptides, collagen, gelatin. I have no problem with that. So maybe they need to be broken down first. Again, grass-fed bone broth is great, and it's actually healing for digestion. So there is something to this.
I don't really eat the meat, but I do eat the maggots. These maggots are evolved to digest rotten flesh. I could probably utilize those digestive enzymes and bacteria to digest my own food.
Yes, I see now. It has become clear. No, actually, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. And oh, it's Tuesday at noon. You can hear the alarm going off in my small town, America. I would agree with this somewhat. But I actually like the idea of eating bugs and things like that. Maggots, it would depend where they come from, I guess. But I like the idea of eating grass-fed bugs. But maggots from like meat, I don't know. I don't know what the health properties would be of like grass-fed bugs versus like meat-eating bugs, or bugs that proliferate in these animal source foods and fuel. I don't know there. Could be toxic. Could be super healthy, and they might have those enzymes to help you break down food. I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's super dangerous, eating the raw meat and the intestines and the maggots. But I mean, you don't know. Do you really know that? If someone goes out and turns over a log and eats, a bug like it's the Lion King out here, I mean, is that going to make them sick, or is it good for you? Hakuna Matata, right?
For the most part, I react very well to raw meat. This is my fresh liver. I like to do a little aged meat with each of my meals, so I leave this liver hanging up here for about 2 months, and it ferments and it has a probiotic-like effect. See, there's actually mold growing on it, and sometimes I'll just eat it right off the beef. I'll eat it and just the taste of it just wakes me up. Some people drink coffee, other people, have their morning stimulant, and this is mine.
Okay, so let me break this down. Okay, so a lot of people that have histamine issues aren't going to be able to eat aged meat or as much of it. They won't be able to tolerate as much of it. Maybe you will. Quality does matter, of course, but I will agree that aged meat is super delicious. That fermented taste is it gives it like a slight cheesiness, right? Now, I like to put raw meat in apple cider vinegar for like a week. That'll kill the bacteria if there is any. Hey, maybe that's beneficial though, like he's saying. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But it is super delicious. I'll dry it off and salt it and just eat it in thin slices. Super delicious. He is also right about liver giving you a boost. I don't know, he might be talking about the mold there, but for me, whenever I eat liver, I have a superhuman boost and I feel like a superhero. But yeah, I don't recommend eating mold, especially if you have certain yeast intolerances, and a lot of us have yeast intolerance, but for certain strains. Like, not all strains of yeast are going to trigger you. Some might, some not. Like strains from that will grow on the outside of high sugar fruits, like a blueberry or grape or something like that, might be more detrimental to you than raw beef. Like, I didn't even know that mold could grow on like meat like that. I've never seen it before personally, but I guess I don't have a dry aged fridge in my garage, but hey, maybe I'll look into that.
I hope to eat the raw meat diet for the rest of my life. No, I mean, I've invested 10 years in it, and now I'm really curious to see, how far I can push it. Say if I could live to be 80 years old, then it would validate a lot of the theories that I have about this diet.
Yeah, okay, so that was pretty interesting, and that was, I don't know, it's not like I'm going to eat 100% a raw primal diet and just eat, or mainly eat raw carnivore, which I guess this guy would be considered. A lot of people in the carnivore community aren't actually carnivores. I mean, they're actually more like keto carnivore, which apparently that means you can eat like a certain amount of plant foods, like, like keto approved, like avocados and coconut or whatever, something not high carb. I don't know. I don't like the idea of calling something carnivore if you're not just eating meat. Like, to me, it's like saying you're vegan, but you eat a couple meats. Like Vegetable Police is doing lately. I'm totally vegan, but I eat fish at night. I love that dude. That's like one of my favorite YouTubers. He's so funny. He was vegan, then he went carnivore, and now he's back to vegan. But yeah, good luck trying to figure out his health problems. I like to eat cooked food, and I don't see a problem with eating cooked food, or I haven't seen a problem. Now, maybe over time, maybe my health will completely deteriorate on my crazy diet, my autoimmune protocol, but I doubt it. But if I start having problems with cooked food, I probably would eliminate that, and I guess I would just be eating like larger cuts of grass-fed beef. And I mean, what raw vegetables could I eat? I can't eat a lot of raw vegetables now because they're hard to digest for me, so I have to cook them. Like broccoli, I pretty much have to steam that. If I were to eat like half a pound of raw broccoli, dude, come on now. As some of you know, and I have said a few times, I am primarily animal-based. I am meat-based paleo, right? Along with keto and overall AIP. Everything I do is under the autoimmune protocol banner. But I eat a diet rich in animal source foods, grass-fed, pasture-raised, wild-caught, because that's where most of the nutrients are that our bodies require. Like, if you're eating if you're plant-based and you're eating mainly plants, and you're like not worrying about the meat first, you could come into a problem. You might become deficient. And I tell you what, you cannot heal in a nutrient-deficient environment in the gut. Okay, I'm telling you, like, plants are great in the right amounts, and certain ones, and of a certain quality. They really are. I'm not saying not to eat plants. A lot of people think, oh, I'm a carnivore or whatever, because I talk about meat so much. But let me tell you, without meat, you will never heal. ever, ever, ever. Okay? Now you might be able to maintain for a short time, but you are never going to experience that great optimal health that you want and need. Okay? So if you're a vegetarian or you're a herbivore and you think that you don't need meats, you're wrong. Oh, Adam, live and let live. Don't judge people. Let them live their lifestyle. Why are you so personally attacked by it? Well, I'm not, but I'm here giving tips based on my experience, and my experience tells me that this is my truth, and this is true for me, and it's going to be true for you, biologically speaking, if you're a human. So while it's all fun to say, ooh, I'm plant-based for the animals, and I don't want to hurt all the animals, well, in reality, you actually kill more animals as a vegan than you would on this guy's diet. This guy eats, what, 12 sheep a year? Okay? How many millions of rodents and small mammals and deer and bugs are wiped out in giant monocrops planted by Monsanto? How many are killed by pesticides and are transplanted from their homes? What is morally right in this world? Killing 12 animals or killing billions? Trillions? Do bugs' lives not matter? That reminds me of that, was it Disney? Or probably Pixar, A Bug's Life. Bugs' lives matter, guys. Also in that Vegan Gains video, he talks about specious, being a strong straw man or whatever. Like, no, you're the real specious. You care more about cows and cute cuddly animals, but you don't care about the bugs or the rats or the rodents. You don't care about them, or you wouldn't be vegan. But being vegan isn't about cutting out all animal deaths. It's about cutting less out. But I just told you, you're actually killing more animals than this guy. Truth is, veganism doesn't even exist. You think it does, but it doesn't. And that's why I look at these vegans for what they are. They're children, and they're silly, and they're just pretending. And when they try to give health advice, yeah, maybe I take that a little serious sometimes, and I don't want to see people's health fail. All the vegans that went carnivore, which a lot have done recently, all of them cheated, guys. All of them admitted to cheating. So how many vegans do you think that say they're successful now aren't cheating? Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. If you enjoyed, drop a like, smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you next time.